He was like 4 years old or 5. He says, "Damn it, go on, beat it." He just points at the door. Wait, you want to know what's funny though? That did happen at the bowling alley though. Me and John and my friend, we were all just talking at the table, and then I don't know how this got brought up, okay? But somehow, so John was looking at his phone and he was showing my friend something on there. And he's like, "Hey, yo, what you doing? I like, what you showing me?" And then somehow the word dick pic got into a conversation. And then I'm just like, "John, you have a dick pic on your phone and you showing him that? That's some gay ass shit." And I said that. And then he's like, "No, no, no." Because, you know, when John gets like super defensive, he's like, "No, no, no, no."
He's like, yeah. He's like, no, no, no.
No. He starts saying no a whole lot. He's like, "No, no, 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 no. That's not what happened." That's pretty much exactly how it goes. And then
made him
like,
sound like Martin for a second.
And then,
just no.
No. But then after he kept saying no, I look at my friend. I'm like, "You were trying to show him a dick pic? That's some gay ass shit." And he's like, "No, he said something about that," and then showed me his phone. And then I'm like, "Did you want to know what I said?" I'm like, "John, listen, how would Lester feel knowing that you're trying to show him a dick pic that was meant for him instead of our friend right here?"
You said Lester or Dylan?
Well, Dylan, but no, my friend doesn't know about. Well, he knows a little bit about like Dylan and Lester B, that type of thing, but like he doesn't really know too much. He just knows about all the shit that's going on right now between Dylan and me and John.
It was the news article about the fight with Boogie, and they called him Richard Jordan, and Jordan was in quotation marks. You know, some troll wrote that one.
Yeah. Well, no, dude. Here's what I think happened. Here's what I think happened with that, okay? I think that these news articles, they just don't put in that much research. And if you look on YouTube Wiki under Wings of Redemption, you can see that it starts out by saying Wings of Redemption, or commonly known as Richard Jordy Jordan. It says that on the YouTube Wiki. I'm pretty sure that they just looked that up, and there's a few other sources that just show his name being Richard, which I still don't know if that's his real name or not. I
don't think it is.
I'm pretty sure it is Jordy, but I'm pretty sure these news outlets just didn't put enough work in, and they just got lazy, and they figured, oh, so all the trolls say his name's Richard, so that must be true. But look, here's what it says. Jordy McCready Jordan, better known online as Wings of Redemption or Richard Samuel Jordan.
Look, his quote, look here. Jordy Jordan yelling at user, giving him advice to appear offline. Call of Duty World War II.
Let's see. I wonder how much they got. Oh, they actually updated it. They updated it. So
the lasagna video.
So the whole is all right. I don't want to get into it because, dude, I could go on hours talking about Richard and him being an idiot. The lasagna video, real quick. He basically said that in South Carolina, and I've told you this before, but he said in South Carolina that which, by the way, is one of the cheapest places to live in the United States, next to places like Arkansas and stuff like that. Just basically a no man's land, okay? Or the fucking desert in Nevada or something like that. But he said that it makes more sense going to McDonald's and getting fast food and saving money that way versus, buying the materials to make lasagna. Because lasagna, everything you need to buy to make lasagna would cost $30 versus fast food. Lasagna, especially for families, it's a really easy meal to make for families, definitely. And it's very fulfilling. You just buy pasta, you just buy the sauce, you just buy the cheese, and you just bake it. Well, meat, yeah. And so, realistically, I mean, listen, if you're as big as Richard, you are a family, okay? And if you have a wife No offense, Kelly. I'm sorry if you ever hear this, but you're not much better. You're improving yourself, but you're still double my size, okay? So, like, Richard
And
really...
double my size.
Well, you're double Richard's size, but...
Man.
Oh, wait, no, other way around. I didn't mean it like that. I meant Richard is double your size.
You motherfucker.
I didn't mean it like that. Dyslexia, bro.
That wasn't dyslexia, you piece of shit.
I swear I did not mean to say that.
You're double Richard's size. Wait, I didn't mean that.
I meant it the other way. I meant Richard is double your size. Not your double Richard's size. Oh, man. This is starting out as a disaster, but...
English is definitely not your friend this morning.
Dude, it's not English's fault, it's dyslexia, okay? I can't take this, man. It's too much. But anyway, though.
Kelly's double my size. You're double Richard's size.
Dude, I basically called you 800 pounds.
Dude,
Oh man, I can't believe I said that. I feel kind of bad, honestly.
Give me a second, I'm still laughing.
But
the reason my dad doesn't eat much at mealtime, you're gonna find this funny. My mom could be cooking dinner, and my dad would literally make himself like a bowl of chips and eat it before dinner.
dude,
And then he's like, I'm just not hungry. And my mom's sitting there like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. That's exactly what you'd say to him. Just no shit, Sherlock. You had a snack right before dinner.
all right, listen. I'm gonna talk about this like me and John and my other friends' bowling time yesterday, because we had a great time yesterday. I kind of got my ass whooped yesterday, but at the same time I beat John's ass on another bet.
Oh, I really want to know what this bet was, though.
I'll tell you later, but real quick, just because what you just said reminds me of something. So that reminds me of something John did really recently. So with the Red Lobster incident.
I remember.
Before we went to Red Lobster, last month about a month and a half ago. No, he didn't. So what happened was we were gonna go Red Lobster, and I've already. Like, listen, this is gonna go into something else I'm gonna have on my channel later, probably sometime in the next week and a half. It's taken me a long time to make this video, because I have so much other content as well I'm making at the same time. But anyway, we're gonna go Red Lobster, and we're at the mall first, and just looking around, seeing if there's anything we want to buy. I don't remember if we bought anything at this point. Probably did. Actually, no. John's ass. Yeah, we're buying hookers at Spencer's. Lenny. Yeah, that's definitely what we're doing. Yo, do you want to know what's bad is I called John Lenny the other day by accident.
Are you kidding me?
I'm getting my Asians mixed up.
Well, we got bowling.
They all look the same.
Lenny.
No, I didn't say that. No, this wasn't at the bowling alley. This was in voice chat. And I called him. No, wait, I didn't. I don't even know if I called him Lenny. I may have called him Dylan by accident. I feel like I'm my grandfather right now, just mixing everyone up. But anyway, though, getting back into the story, though, what happened was after we were done at the mall, we went to IKEA. And Lenny, you have an IKEA near you, right? Or you've been to
Not
one
near
before.
me. The nearest one to me is next to the airport.
Okay, but you've been to one before, right?
If I have, I was really young.
Okay, well, listen, I don't know if you know this, but anyone that's been in IKEA knows that it's primarily a furniture store, but there's also a cafeteria in it. And
yeah,
you
like
can
a
buy,
diner.
Yeah, well, not really a diner. It's kind of like it's the equivalent of like
court.
It's yeah.
Not so much a food court. Would you say like a hospital canteen?
Yeah, that's literally what I was about to say. I was about to say a hospital cafeteria.
Okay, then yeah.
But there is a shop there. There's like bakery that you can buy. It's kind of like a big convenience store with a food court. But we're going to Red Lobster and we're gonna get like a nice meal. And this fat motherfucker, he goes and he buys a whole Italian meatball meal from there and starts eating it. And I'm like, what are you doing? We're gonna be at Red Lobster in 30 minutes. And he's like, they're so good. And that's literally what he was saying.
Like, oh, Wendy's chili.
Yo, listen, John's gonna kill me. John, and by the way, John's not here today because he was sick. Which, dude, I was hanging out with him less than 12 hours ago. So, well, no, not less. It was more like 16 hours ago at the bowling alley. If I get sick because of him, John, I'm kicking your ass. Number one.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, and number two, hey man, that's just not cool. But listen though, he fucking bought it, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And he's like, the meatballs, they're so good. And listen, I heard that they're really good, but we're about to go to Red Lobster. Really? And listen, I was like, listen, John, if you do that, and I felt like I was his freaking parents. I felt like I was his fucking dad saying this, but I told him, John, if you eat this, you're not going to have an appetite for Red Lobster. He's like, oh no, I'm really hungry. Me so hungry. Why did that make him almost sound like Jar Jar Binks? The fuck? But anyway.
Me so yummy.
No, that's enough just AIDS right there. I don't need any more. I fucking hate Jar Jar Binks. Fuck him. But anyway though, after I told him that, he ate the whole thing. Well, I don't know if he ate the whole thing. He ate all the meatballs, and then I think he threw some of the meal away. But we go to Red Lobster, and then this boy, I told him this, and I told him it's gonna happen, and he's like, it's not gonna happen. And then we go to Red Lobster. He eats some of his food, but the majority of it he doesn't eat, okay? And he's like, I'm too full. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, really? Number one. And number two, the reason I said that first and foremost is because the place we went, it was like 25 minutes away. It wasn't like, or 30 minutes away. It wasn't like super close, but it wasn't like that far. And number two, like, you know, we don't go there a lot, so I'm just like, really? And he's like, I'm so full. And plus, I don't like the food that much, which, dude, listen, I'm not gonna lie, the noodles, they were good, like the shrimp calamari, it was pretty good, but like, it wasn't as good as Olive Garden, I'll give John that, but it's good enough to where you'll want to finish it, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
But I really know the real reason he didn't finish his food was because he overdosed on IKEA meatballs, okay? That's just what happened. So, John, if you see this, which you will, well, we all know your dirty little secret, and we're exposing it.
There's one thing that I'm just going to say right off the bat. And John, again, you're going to watch this because we're going to sit you down, tape you to a chair, and force you to.
That sounds very BDSM-ish. I don't think I want a part of this.
Well, we'll get Dylan to tape him down, all right?
Oh, well, it does make sense, you know, because, well, gay boyfriends. He's gonna kill us.
But here's the thing. He called out sick on an online event podcast.
Well, listen,
Can we think about that for a second?
Okay, listen, it sounds really bad when you put it like that, but to be fair though, he said that he was getting chills in bed, and number one, it's probably kind of a good thing, because if John were to get, if he's, sick, which I do believe him, because it was raining all day yesterday, and it was kind of cold. And listen, here's one more thing as well. You want to know why he got sick, possibly, is because when we left, okay, I parked at the mall, and it was cold. Well, it wasn't that cold. It was like 45 degrees, a little bit windy, with rain, okay? I told him, right, dude, listen, you want to bring your coat? It's going to get wet because of the rain, and it's a little bit cold out, and we're going to be here for a while. And we weren't just in the mall. We went down the sidewalk for a couple miles for like a half an hour to an hour because we ended up going to a restaurant after bowling. And I told John, dude, it's kind of cold. You probably should get a jacket. And John says, no, I like the cold. And me and my friend both were like, are you sure? Because we both have hoods on and we both have jackets. And you're the one with a long sleeve shirt in 45 degree weather. with rain, with wind. And he's like, no. And I'm going to quote Jar Jar Binks, Misa like the cold. And, and so so listen.
You just call me Remy? Just call me...
When the hell did I call you Remy? The fuck?
I don't know. I said like you said Remy. Look.
I said Lemmy.
Okay.
Or Lenny. I don't remember. Dude, I forget half the stuff I say within 5 seconds. But
that's normal.
But listen, he did that yesterday, last night, and now today, he's apparently sick, getting chills in bed. Huh, I wonder why.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I don't know, man. Maybe we should get the Scooby-Doo mystery crew out here and investigate why that happened.
This is a Sherlock Holmes level case, in my opinion. Don't you agree?
Dude, this is an Avengers level threat. We need the whole Avengers to investigate.
What, does he have cancer?
I hope not. Who knew the rain... Alright, I'm gonna stop talking because I don't want to say what I was gonna say.
This is an Avenger level threat. What, does he have cancer?
Oh, that's fucked up. John, if you're watching this though, dude, after this podcast, I'm gonna bring that up to him though. He's probably gonna get really mad. But John, I'm sorry, but I mean, come on, that was kind of a 62 IQ play, dude. Like, come on, chances are, if you see, people wearing shorts out when it's blazing hot, chances are you shouldn't wear a tuxedo with a hoodie on top, okay? So, kind of like that. And when it's cold, chances are you probably shouldn't be streaking in the streets, okay? It's just kind of common sense. So,
like if I was there, and let's say I was there and I was walking out with a t-shirt in 45-degree weather while it's raining.
Weather? What's weather?
My Asian came out for a second. But if I was out in that type of weather and it was about 45 degrees, I honestly don't even worry about me if I was in a t-shirt. Like, I know John was like, I like the cold. But here's the difference. I live in Oregon. 45 degrees with rain is how it is at least 4/5 of the year.
Well, listen. In Maryland, here's what you don't get, though, is... Well, let me ask you this. In Oregon, is it more like the stereotypical, I guess, seasons climate change? So, like, during the fall, it gets cool. During the winter, it gets cold. During the spring, it gets, like, warmer, but still kind of cool and nice. And during the summer, it's blazing hot. Is that how it is in Oregon?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, let me tell you this. In Maryland, it's like spinning a bottle, okay? If the bottle spins on winter, then it's cold during the summertime. If you spin the bottle again, it's randomly 70 degrees during, I don't know, January, okay? It's weird like that here, okay? This is like a fairy tale land, except with meth heads and crystal meth, okay? So, so it's weird. It's weird. That's
Alice
just how
in
it
Wonderland.
is. Yeah, except everyone's high.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Deal With It with your hosts today, Timmy Turner and Lenny Likes Bathrooms.
Really? Like, I mean, Timmy Turner, that one actually I kind of like, but I think Thermal Stinks 11 would have been better. But Thermal Likes Bathrooms. I mean, you're telling no lies on that one, buddy. So I guess just go with it.
I was just making something on the spot, and that's why I called you Timmy Turner. I'll be honest.
So we had the longest intro ever. That was something. John's probably gonna be pissed. We did the 30-minute roast session about John instead of him being here, because that's what friends are for.
Yeah, well, we're not great friends because it's supposed to be an hour and a half.
We're amazing. Yeah, you're right. It should have been. It should have been most. We should have just looked up on our calendar. So what's to do? Oh yeah, we got to roast John for an hour and a half. Sounds fun.
Yep. It sounds like a normal podcast.
Anyway, I hope everyone's doing great today. Lenny, are you doing good?
I'm doing all right. It's actually cool in my house despite what's going on.
Yeah, dude. It's actually been pretty nice around the parts. I'm not going to lie. I'm sounding southern for some reason. Saying around the parts.
Pretty nice around these parts.
These parts? Yeah, no, it's actually pretty nice today. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I know.
So,
here's this is just what's going on here. And why I said cool at the moment. My heat pump's broken.
I mean, wait, your heat pump for like hot water?
No. such as the heater and air conditioning, are busted.
So the heat and the air conditioning.
Yes.
Ooh, that's tough, my dude.
Like yesterday it was 88 degrees outside, and it was 78 degrees in my house.
Damn.
It was 78 degrees in my house. Right now it's a little bit cooler today, so it's a little bit cooler today, so we have all the windows and stuff open, and that's also why you can hear gunk in my throat despite me having allergy medication in my system.
It's alright, buddy,
so
that's
I will
everyone.
be clearing. Yeah, warning, I will be clearing my throat a lot because of that, but bygones are bygones.
It's alright. I mean, it literally rained yesterday, as we mentioned, and whenever it rains, I usually have something going on. I mean, I had a runny nose earlier, but I took some Advil, and that's all good. And I probably will have to clear my throat too because of allergies. But I mean, right now, yeah, you got me. I took illegal drugs, so illegal drugs. Dude, what can I say? They're just so tasty. I keep telling you, it's just like dude, lean. It just tastes like Well, it has codeine cough syrup in it, man. So it just tastes good. It's like Jolly Ranchers, man.
Well, that's because that's an ingredient.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I could just get Jolly Ranchers without the lean, but where's the fun in that?
Yeah, where's the fun in that?
So, anyway, though, hope everyone's doing great. We got several things to talk about. There's quite a bit of interesting topics today.
Yeah, we got a whole list.
We got a whole list. So,
and by I mean Krush made a whole list.
You want to know what's fucked up is that I literally made this probably 20 minutes before we started the recording. I completely forgot to make a list, and yeah, I mean, so I'm kind of proud of myself for doing that. So yeah, that's just how it is.
Oh, don't worry. I was sitting in here waiting for Krush, and I'll be honest, I wasn't even writing down anything. I was literally watching porn.
You want to know what's bad is
what?
Half these topics I got while sitting on the toilet.
You know what? Am I gonna judge you for that? No.
Dude, what can I say? The office is always the best place to,
Krush was looking like the thinker on the toilet.
I literally was. You want to see a pic?
No.
Anyway.
Or to quote your friend, hey, yo, that's some gay ass shit.
Alright. But anyway, yeah, we got a lot of shit to talk about, and we were already talking about Richard earlier in the introduction, so I feel like we should just start off with that. What do you think, Lenny?
Yeah, let's just start with that and then just go from there.
Alright, so I don't think... So, within the last 4 podcasts, I think we mentioned Wings of Redemption versus Boogie 2988, that boxing match that's going on. Now, there's been quite a few things that have occurred since then, including some controversy that's going on with it. Lenny, were you going to say something?
Controversy?
Shut up.
I was going to say, we've brought it up mainly in passing, but we've never really dug really deep into it, if that makes sense.
Well, we're not going to, dig that deep into it, but, there's some new updates primarily with it, okay?
Yeah.
I think...
We're just going to move on to the, we're going to be moving... We had a dog... quotes.
Dude, you want to know what's bad, though, is... So, here's one thing that went down, okay? So, something that's been going on, which I think we can all kind of agree that we don't want this boxing match. Wait, real quick. Speaking of what you said, look at my screen again. Look at this quote. Look at the third quote on here.
I know, that's why I read it. I was like, we had a dog.
Oh, that's why you said it? Oh.
Yeah, that's why I said it. I was like, look at the quotes. We had a dog, dude.
But listen... here's one thing that happened, which I don't know if we covered this in the last podcast. I can't remember when I posted this originally, but big ups to Wing Things. No, just Wing Things. That's his new name. I don't know if you know who that is, Lenny, but that's one of the trolls that makes troll compilations on Richard. And he came out with this.
Sounds familiar.
Sounds familiar. Here, I'll show you. I'm not gonna play the video because.
Show the channel.
Yeah, I'll show the channel because this guy makes really good Wings content. This is his channel. I love his.
Okay, yeah.
I love his the McDonald's thing at work at McDonald's. Yeah,
Wing Stings.
McDonald's. Wing Tings.
Oh, okay.
You gotta say Tings. But
Tings.
but this video right here, which it was 2 days ago, that's when it was. So yeah, we couldn't have covered it in the last podcast. Basically, what went down is there was some new information that got exposed because Richard is really stupid. Richard is the type of guy that somehow he streams his Twitter DMs while he's live streaming.
What the hell?
I don't know. He's done this so many times. One of the times was his wife's fault. His wife was on his computer streaming, I think, Animal Crossing, and then somehow she was able to, switch the OBS scenes to his desktop and showed that he filed a complaint to Google about all the trolls messing with them. So big ups Kelly for exposing trolls, Richard. Man. Big ups Kelly for exposing your husband. Great one. Wife of the year. But
how much you want to bet she acts like it was an accident, but it really wasn't?
Listen, I don't blame her. He's a piece of shit to her. Like, he ignores her. He fucking told her grow up and deal with it when she was worried that she might have cancer. So he's not a good dude, okay? He's just fun making fun of, okay? I can't express that enough, okay? I hate him, but, like, I love watching him get mad, okay? I think we can all agree on that. But basically went on with this video right here, which it's not just Wings in the title. It's also Boogie and Keemstar as well, which not everyone knows Boogie. We covered him in the last podcast a little bit. But everyone knows Killer Keemstar, okay? You can be Patrick Star living under a rock and you know who Killer Keemstar is, okay? But in this video right here, basically what happened was Richard had some DMs that got leaked, and well, first and foremost, Richard was saying originally how he wouldn't box. I don't remember the exact number, but he said that if you want him to box, it would be like $100,000, and Richard leaked the number within he and Keemstar's Twitter DMs, and Keemstar said he was offering $10,000, and Richard accepted it. Which, listen, that's not a bad deal, okay? That's pretty good. I think, I would take that. I'm not gonna lie.
I'd take it.
Yeah,
I'd take it.
Yeah, I would take that number too because $10,000's a lot of money for pretty much anyone, unless you're Elon Musk or whatever. But that got leaked, and then what happened next was, and this is the important thing, is with anything that big that happens with Wings of Redemption, especially, I don't know if this happens to like other lolcows like Dark Side Phil, for example, or like, well, Boogie's not the biggest lolcow, or like, I don't know, Low Tier God, that's another piece of shit. Whenever something big happens, like they're gonna be featured in a podcast, or maybe they're gonna be going somewhere and they make it public, or maybe for Wings, if he's going to appear in another article like he was in the New York Times, the trolls are going to try and find some way to get involved, okay? Like, for example, with the New York Times, the trolls found out he was going to be in the New York Times article, and they started messaging they started flooding the writer of the article and sending them all the bad stuff Wings did over the years, which is kind of messed up, but, like,
he deserves it,
at the same time, like, I'm sure he wasn't bringing any of that to light with the reporter and / writer, so, it's fair game in a way. But anyway, you kind of get where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So with this boxing event, one of the big controversial things, which anyone that knows Richard even slightly knows that he's done, primarily deals with his comment about the age of consent, where he said the age of consent should be 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
And
well, that's exactly what he said. That was the catch.
The one that's bad is, well, number one, I'm a little rusty on my Richard lore because I just haven't been that interested, and I've kind of have a life. I don't know what that is specifically.
Yeah, we don't really get paid to troll Richard here.
Well, I don't know what this life thing is that well, but I'm trying to do it, okay? But anyway, yeah, I haven't really been.
That counts sometimes.
Yeah. So I kind of am on and off with Richard, okay? Me and Richard, we have our good times here and there, and then we have our off days, okay? That's just how it is. But this is pretty important though, because with this boxing match going on, the trolls are trying to get involved, and they're spreading the age of consent clip, and they're trying to get the. I mean, I don't think most trolls want the boxing match to to not go through, and everyone wants it to happen, obviously. But there's just people out there that want to make everyone know. It's kind of like the Joker. I don't do it for money. I just want to watch the world burn. They're kind of like that, and they just want to watch the boxing match burn. So what happened was Wingtings, I think he was one of the people that was reposting the Age of Consent. I mean, I know he's had it on his channel before, but I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly if he was spreading it to anyone recently. But Keemstar himself, he has 2 million followers on Twitter, okay? He's pretty big. He DMs Wingtings, and he tells him to stop doing that because he doesn't want the boxing match to get canceled. And apparently what was discovered after that was how some DMs got leaked, basically showing that this boxing event might be rigged. And that they're just trying to collect the check, and they're just trying to, Keemstar, basically the whole narrative is that Keemstar is trying to give Wings money and is trying to redeem him and get the trolls off of him. That's the whole thing, which...
What?
It's very elaborate. I don't really want to show the video.
Ow!
Yeah, sorry. I'm just going through it for a second, just looking through it. Basically, the reason that... Hold on, let me show the screen this. The reason that they're saying that this might be rigged is because about 10 years ago, the first controversial thing, or one of the first controversial things that Richard ever did, was try and bribe another content creator. Because there was who was Syndicate. I don't know if you know Syndicate, Lenny. But Syndicate, basically he and Syndicate had a 1v1. Richard got his ass whooped and rage quit it. And it was pretty funny. And then there was going to be a rematch that, that had money on the line. And Richard said that if Syndicate lets him win, he'll give Syndicate half the money or something like that. And instead of taking it, Syndicate screenshotted the bribe and then posted it and embarrassed Richard. So people are basically saying that this is kind of like that. Except Keemstar is giving Richard 10K and then trying to rig the boxing match or something like that. If you watch the video, then it's a little bit questionable what's going to happen. But do I personally believe that that's going to happen? No, I don't think so. But I think that these big content creators, they should just stop DMing the trolls, okay? They should just leave it alone. Because if you bring more light to Wingtings, then more people will start looking at it and then questioning if the boxing match is legit. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And then
I get what you mean.
If that happens, then the promoters for the boxing match, if they, see Richard as being too big, literally, of a problem, then you never know what could happen. So that's kind of what's going on with him, number one, okay? The trolls are trying to make it look like... Which, listen, I'm normally on the troll side with all this shit, okay? But the trolls are trying to make it seem like the boxing match will be rigged and that Keemstar is just trying to give out 10 grand and trying to redeem Wings and get them off his ass, basically. This is more of a discussion, I think, for another day, because we got to see how this is going to transpire, especially with the boxing match,
I don't think there's enough, full on... I wouldn't say... I don't think data is the right word, but just enough things out there yet. You get what I mean?
Well, Wingtings, his video is good. Don't get it twisted. I'm not hating on him at all. I'm subscribed to him. I'm a fan of his. He seems like a good dude. He was on the Real Talk podcast, and he seemed like a genuinely good dude. But you are right. I think that, I think we need to see how the boxing match will go. Because, number one, here's one thing I've never gotten or understood. Why can't you just box and just play fair? Why do people have to say everything's rigged? Why? Because, listen, sometimes boxing matches can be rigged. I think we can agree on that. Anything can be rigged. The fucking election, in my opinion, was rigged, okay? If that can happen, then I think a boxing match could be rigged. But, yeah, I don't get why people can't just play fair or whatever. It just seems stupid to me. But I guess we'll see what's going to happen in the fight, okay? But that's one thing that's been going on with the Wings boxing match. Now, there's a few other little updates with it. So, number one, Lenny, you're going to love this part.
Yeah.
So, listen, here's something hilarious, which I'm happy this happened, okay? Wings and Boogie both passed the medical requirements and their physical. So, that's really good. Which, yeah, I wonder how many skills are broken doing that, number one.
For Richard.
No,
didn't
for
Boogie, like, get... Didn't
Boogie's like the
down?
same... Not really. I mean, dude... look, I'm pretty sure he was like 600 pounds or something originally, but he's still pretty fat. If you get the... What's the surgery called? The weight reduction surgery?
Well, there's multiple types, but I'm more than likely the one he got was a gastric bypass.
That was it. Yeah. If you get the gastric bypass, shouldn't you, be at least like 300 pounds and then try and then be losing weight from there, Lenny?
It still takes effort.
But how much effort
Still
would you
does.
say? Would you say you would have to try and actively be gaining weight to beat the surgery?
Yes. If you got a gastric bypass and you're gaining weight, you are actively trying to do that. Because what a gastric bypass is I think I've told you this before, but I'll say it again just because so it's on recording. You know how when you eat, food goes down your esophagus and your stomach, right?
Yes.
And then your stomach leads into the duodenum, and then the duodenum leads down into the small intestine.
I don't know the exact specifics, but I know how food works because I eat food.
I would hope so. But, yeah, it would lead into a little passageway that then leads into the small intestine. There's a little tube there, but I'm not going to go into detail because that's like biology and anatomy, and we don't have time for that. But what a gastric bypass does is it removes portions of that stomach and sticks them together, so your what used to be bigger stomach is now smaller. You get what I mean?
Someone should tell Lester that's how food works, because I think if he keeps sticking stuff up his butt, then he's probably going to need a different kind of surgery, so...
He's like Cartman.
Alright, but...
Hey, man, He's like, hey, man, I'm having my lunch today. It's this banana. I'm going to eat it.
With my ass. But
man, why'd I get fired, man? I was just doing it at lunch. But where'd you work? Oh, the elementary school.
Hey, man, I was a Subway sandwich maker, and they saw what I was doing behind the counter. I got the meatballs at my ass.
Aww.
Oh, man. But anyway, though, so, alright, yeah, I just want to, throw a little bit of shade at Richard, and I guess Lester, real quick, with the surgery. But, yeah, they passed their medical requirements, which is good. So the boxing match will be on, and there is some other news. So Keemstar already said that the boxing match would be free, but John kept saying it wasn't going to be free because it was on Happy Punch, or I don't know where it's actually on. Okay, I don't remember the exact site, but the site it was on, it's apparently going to be, apparently you still have to pay for a pay-per-view. But for the Wings of Redemption versus Boogie 2988 fight, that part is going to be free. You can watch it free on the site, which I'll post the site on the podcast, okay, just so that we can give some clout to the site, okay? I'm just being a retard right now and don't remember. I'm having a brain fart.
No, it's good. And plus, I'm pretty sure during the day of the fight, we'll be restreaming it.
That's another thing I was going to say. So, because it's going to be free, we're going to be restreaming it. Me, Lenny, and John, we're going to be restreaming it. Because, luckily it's on a Saturday, I believe. Let me double check. Pretty sure it's on a Saturday. Because it's May 13th. Yes, it is on a Saturday. So, it's 2 weeks from now. Yes, 2 weeks from now. So, we're going to be restreaming it. Obviously, I'm probably going to watch the KSI fight just because, it's going to be interesting. And KSI, I don't think, has ever lost a fight yet. So, I want to see how he'll do. And there's a few other cards that I probably will watch as well, like Deji, who's his little brother. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah. One warning, though. You already know I don't know a lot about boxing.
Lenny, I don't know... Listen, Lenny, I don't know a lot about boxing either. I don't know a lot about boxing either. I just like beat up each other, okay? That's just what I like. And listen, in this case, we're going to be watching sumo wrestling with fists, okay? That's what's going to happen. So I can't wait to watch these big beanbags fight each other, okay? This is going to be amazing. And we're going to be restreaming it on the day of the match. It's probably going to be about 5 o'clock my time when it happens, but stay tuned, everyone. Make sure y'all watch because we will be live. Lenny, you're not sponsoring everyone that's watching popcorn?
No.
You don't want to have sponsor Lester B's popcorn mukbang?
Knowing him, he's gonna get like the finest. He's gonna somehow find like the finest kerneled popcorn. Order like the most expensive goat sheep butter on top of it, and then he's gonna be like, "Hey man, I want some M&Ms on top of that."
All right,
and
listen.
He's gonna order them from like a movie theater where they're already overpriced.
For sure. Now wait, hold on. I gotta get into what happened with me first, okay? Then
go ahead.
Are you good with that? So listen,
care.
there's been a few things in my life that's been going on, but we're going to talk about what's going on with us personally before we get into the other topics, because we have quite a few things to talk about. So first of all, I mean, I was super excited about this week because Jedi Fallen Survivor came out this week, and that's one of the games I've been looking forward for the last few years because I love I love Fallen Order with a passion. Yeah, Fallen Order. I played that game 6 times on Grandmaster and beat it, and I love that game.
The one thing I'm gonna note is you beat it on Grandmaster difficulty, no upgrades.
That was one time, and I did die quite a bit still, but yeah, I did do it, and I'm kind of proud of it, as sad as that may sound.
It's not sad.
But yeah,
You're also talking to someone with also no life.
Hey, that's me too.
I know, that's why I said as well as I said. I know, right?
And that's everyone watching. I'm kidding. God, man, sheesh. Unless you're Lester, but anyway.
Or John.
Yeah, or any of you watching. Oh my God, I'm kidding. Just relax. Anyway. But anyway, though, so
or Val. Nope. No, just kidding there.
But anyway, though, well, I mean, we can get more into Fallen Survivor, but I do have some mixed opinions on that as of right now. But let me just start off with what's been going on at the very beginning of the week, okay? So everyone hates Mondays, and this was probably one of the most annoying Mondays I think I've ever had. So to start off with, I got into my first official car crash, or car accident, I guess you could call it, going to work, which really pissed me off because, number one, well, hold on, I got burp too. So
we burp break real quick.
Anyway, though, so my job is pretty close to where I live. It's probably like 10 minutes away, or
it's not too bad.
Maybe not 10 minutes away. It's more like, well, it all depends because a lot of the time, I like to try and get there as quick as I can. And about half the car ride, or about maybe 1/3 of the car ride, is going through the suburban neighborhood. And number one, here's something that really pisses me off, okay, when I go to work. So when I turn into this neighborhood, which is like, I don't know, it's like a minute and a half away from my house, off like a somewhat main road, is I go in the neighborhood, and I like going fast, which is not something you really should be saying on a podcast in a neighborhood. But I like going 40 miles an hour, even though I'm supposed to go like 20. And I like to speed to try and get to work. And I feel like I'm Vin Diesel making sharp turns. And, turning on different streets and shit in that neighborhood. And one thing that pisses me off is when some asshole goes even slower than the speed limit or the speed limit and is just taking their sweet time. Dude, especially because I'm not a morning person, I get so pissed off. I'm just like fucking getting pissed. I'm calling them a whole bunch of different names in my car. I'm like, I'm gonna beat their fucking ass or something like that. Or I'm gonna fucking ram them off the road. And like saying all this bad stuff because I'm just in a bad mood because I have to wake up for work, especially if it's a Monday. Because, dude, who wants to wake up for work at 7:30 in the morning going to work? Which, dude, it could have been way worse. For some of my coworkers, you have to wake up at like 6:30 and then drive down the highway. But that's number one what pissed me off because I was going behind this slow fucking ass motherfucker with this stupid minivan. And dude, I really wanted to just go around him, but I was worried I would, hit someone. So I had to be behind this asshole, and this guy made me take. This guy, I could have been through that neighborhood within. So just to tell you how quick I get through that neighborhood, if you go the speed limit, it takes you maybe like 6-7 minutes to get through it to where I'm going. But for
So
me, it takes 3 minutes usually.
uh,
If I can, or 2.5 if I can go, if there's like nobody around me, okay? This dude made me take 7 minutes to get through, so I was already really pissed off. But luckily for me, I actually left a little earlier, so I wasn't really that worried about being late. So I was about, I want to say about a quarter mile away from my job. I went through that neighborhood. I was on a somewhat main road. It was like right off of a main road, but it was more like a side street, okay? But there was still a lot of businesses that were like around me, okay? So there was still a decent amount of people, but it wasn't very crowded though all the time,
yeah, I get what you mean.
So, I'm at the stop sign, and I'm waiting for this public transportation bus to pass me first, because, I'm at a three-way intersection. So the bus was going the way I was going to go, but I had to wait at the stop sign and let him pass because he was coming from a different angle. And I was behind this truck as well at the stop sign. The truck was in front of me. So after the bus goes, the truck then turns left, and then I turn left afterwards as well. And I'm behind this truck. It's like a Dodge, I think. I'm not the best when it comes to car types. But this bus, he goes over to the side, and this was at a bus stop he was at, and he starts dropping people off. And the truck, so just to give a little more of a description where the bus stop was, he parks on the side of the street. He's taking up about half of the one-way road. And then on the other side, it's obviously another, it's the opposite way road. I don't remember what the term is called, but, people are coming from the opposite side where we're going, okay?
Yeah.
So the truck wants to move around the bus, but he has to be a little bit slow to make sure that nobody will hit his truck, obviously. And also, to make it even worse, shortly after the bus stop, it's kind of like a circular road. So
like a roundabout?
Yeah, roundabout, almost. It's like a half a roundabout, okay?
All right.
So you can't always see people when they come around the corner. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he has to go slowly around the bus, and it didn't look like there was anyone, but he was going by slow. And he was about halfway in front of the truck, or not in front, but he was about neck to neck with the truck as he was making sure nobody was there. Or did I say with the truck? I meant the school bus or the regular bus.
I got what you meant. Yeah, I got what you meant. Don't worry.
But listen, as he was making his way and he was slowly inching away from the bus suddenly started back up, and he was trying to push the truck off the road, and he was telling the truck, go backwards. Dude, number one, listen, technically you're not supposed to move around the bus. You should probably, I'm pretty sure the law says you have to wait for the bus to, drop everyone off. But obviously 90% of the people, because listen, this was a double yellow line, so you can't cross that. You know what I'm trying to say? That's the reason I'm saying you probably should wait for the bus legally to get moving. But this truck obviously wants to get to work, so he's going to move around, and he doesn't know how many people are on that bus. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm pretty sure most people driving... sorry, let me just finish real quick. I'm pretty sure most people driving would want to move around a bus dropping people off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think this is just Oregon, and I might be very wrong. I don't do it personally, but I believe in Oregon it's not... as long as it has those blinking hazard lights?
Yeah.
As long as it has those on, you can legally pass it.
Yeah, I don't remember. Hold on one second. Sorry, clear my nose.
The only bus that you can't pass is a school bus.
Okay, but this wasn't a school bus. This was a public transportation bus.
Then yeah, you can. This is Oregon anyway, because again, different states, different laws. In Oregon, as long as they have their hazard lights on, and there's no one coming, you can pass over a double yellow.
Okay, gotcha. But yeah, anyway, this was a regular bus though, and we didn't obviously I think most people would try and move around the bus, especially if you're in a hurry to get to work. But this guy, this piece of shit bus driver, which, listen, I want to beat this fucker's ass. I really want to kick the shit out of him for what he ended up causing. But this asshole couldn't wait 5 seconds for and I wasn't even trying to get past the guy. I was behind the bus, behind the Dodge as well. The Dodge was just trying to move past the bus, but the bus wasn't letting the guy pass him. He was forcing him and signaling him, go back, go back, go back. And I'm behind the Dodge, and the Dodge is kind of in a messed up situation because, you know, he has to go backwards or else the bus is going to push him off the road. And he ends up going backwards in reverse. But the guy doesn't signal me and tell me, hey, I need to move back. He just starts moving back and going kind of fast. And I see what's going on. So I try and look in my rear view first and foremost to see if someone's behind me, which someone is, okay? And I try, you know, I go in reverse. I try and move back a little bit. But I don't want to hit the guy behind me, obviously. No one wants to do that. But this Dodge, he doesn't have enough room, and he ends up hitting my car. And of course, this piece of shit bus, he just is happily moving, you know, he moves ahead, and he's able to go where he has to go. And the Dodge pulls into a parking lot that's, like, right next to us, and we get out, we talk, we make sure everyone's okay. And I might, you know, attach a picture of the wreckage on my car, but it wasn't that bad. It was more like a fender bender, you know. It was pretty light. But because I have a Civic and he has a Dodge, anyone knows that a Dodge is a big-ass car, okay? And the Civic, it's a normal-sized car, I want to say.
It's not big, but I wouldn't say it's small either.
It's not like a clown car, okay? It's not like that.
It's not a clown car.
But compared to a Dodge...
It's not a Mexican smuggling car either.
Yeah. Well, those are... I feel like those would be like a big construction truck or something. That's what I can picture.
Dump truck.
But yeah, obviously the truck is bigger than my car, so it's going to leave a mark. So the truck he only had a scratch on his bumper, so he had nothing to worry about. But me, I had a hole in my car, and it really wasn't bad. Like, if it was, even if there was, you know, a lot of sunlight around from a distance until you're like 5 feet in front of the car, you wouldn't notice it, okay? It really wasn't that big of a deal. But, you know, it's still something, so I'd want to get it repaired, you know? So me and the guy exchanged information, and, well, we exchanged phone numbers, because one thing about me is that I'm inexperienced when it comes to this type of thing, because this is the first time I've ever gotten into a wreck, okay? And I wasn't 100% sure what to do, I'm going to be honest. Like, I knew we were supposed to exchange insurance and shit like that, but... we were both running late to our work, and I made sure this guy's phone number was legit. I called him, I saw on his phone that, you know, my number was popping up. And the guy, he was, you know, he wasn't like some street dude. He was a pretty well-dressed guy, clearly looked like he had a lot of money, okay? And he seemed pretty reputable, okay? Which, listen, anyone watching, con artists, you know, they can come off as that, but... Again, I got the guy's info, so there's no way he can run from me. And later on, I looked up his information, found where he lives, actually. So even if, you know, he didn't want to show me all of his info, I know where he fucking lives. So good luck hiding, bitch. But anyway, but yeah, he was a pretty nice guy. He made sure everything was okay. And that was that. But here's the problem with this dude, okay? So later on, because again, I told y'all, we were kind of in a rush. We didn't call the cops and report the accident. We kind of just went to our jobs because, you know, I was doing something this day, and I didn't want to be late. I was already late, but I didn't want to be too late. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So later on, I asked the guy for his insurance info, but this guy asked for mine first, and I give him some of it, and then I'm like, give me yours now, and then he's like asking me for more. So what ends up happening is I reach out. Well, me and my dad, I'm on his insurance, and we talked to this guy on the phone, and this guy basically says, "Hey, don't give him any more info. We'll take care of it." So it seems a little weird that number one, the guy wasn't giving the info. Wouldn't you say, Lenny?
Yeah, I think I know why though.
Why would you say
Because
that?
he backed into you, right?
He did, yes.
If you were to give him your full information to him, he could have called and said you rear-ended him, and then you would be at fault.
Yeah, well, he tried to do something like that in this text message. He basically, let me read off what he said. Give me a second. One thing about me is that, especially when dealing with someone else, I'm pretty careful with my words. And I'm kind of good at seeing when people, like, I'm kind of good at spotting when people say something and it can be interpreted as something, like like one thing, for example. But I can also think of other possible scenarios where the same wording could be used to say a different scenario. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Anyway, here's what he said though. He said, "When we both pulled over this morning, you admitted you saw me and tried to stop but couldn't. When we got out of our vehicles, you were very apologetic and wanted to make sure I was okay, which I appreciate." Which is true. I did. I wanted to make sure he was good, because, I don't want him getting hurt either. That's just how I am, because this is obviously a serious situation. But notice that wording. You admitted
No,
you
he made
saw
it.
me and tried to stop but couldn't. So what I ended up doing was I told him I didn't like what he said, and I said, "This makes it sound like I was moving forward. I actually was stopped, and I saw you backing up towards me. I looked to see if I could back up, but there was a car behind me, and I couldn't, and you rear-ended me." That's what I told him. So,
Well, it been front-ended.
well, I didn't say that last part. I read half of, what I actually told him. But that's what happened, though.
Yeah. Sadly, sorry. Go ahead and continue.
You can go.
This is Oregon, and you're gonna find this like actually retarded. In Oregon, it doesn't matter what happened. If you hit someone's back, you're always at fault.
Well, I mean,
Because this is how it is in Oregon. If let's say that situation happened and he reported it to your insurance, even if he backed into you and you had evidence to show that he backed into you, your fault.
yeah, well, good luck with that, because number one, I filed a claim before I even gave him any of this info. Number two, the place we're at, there's definitely cameras, so, I mean, all I can say is bring it on, okay? Because he backed into me, and where I live, if you do that, you're pretty much guilty, okay? Now,
Yeah,
obviously, if you're stupid and you don't have the right wording, it can be misinterpreted, but I'm not dumb. I'm not going to make it sound like I hit him, because this guy was the one that was side by side with the bus. I was behind the bus. So, all I got to say is bring it on, dude. Were you going to say something, Lenny?
Nope. Well, I was just had a joke. I was gonna say next up we're gonna have the Wings versus Boogie fight. Now we're gonna have the Krush versus the guy that hit him fight.
No, dude. Here's the thing. I feel bad for this guy, because listen. The person I'm mad at is that bus driver. Put me in the ring with that piece of shit bus driver. I will knock him out. I will fucking knock him out within the first 30 seconds. I promise you. I don't care if he's like 70 years old. It sucks to suck that you're old, dude. I'm knocking you out. Gramps, you're going to bed early tonight, son, okay?
Jeez
That's
Louise,
what's going to
Krush.
happen. I don't care. Because, dude, I feel bad for that dude, because it wasn't his fault. It was that bus driver's fault. It's just unfortunate that I had to, get hit, and that this guy will possibly have to get his insurance raised because of it. That bus driver should be fired, though. Like, you don't do that. You don't. And listen, again, why can't you just wait 15 seconds to let someone pass? Don't be an asshole, So, just stupid and unfortunate. But I went on so long talking about this.
No, that's all right. Granted, it's like it's your first accident, so can't really say too much. I've never been in an accident while I was driving, but my parents have.
Dude, I mean, I've witnessed accidents, though. I've witnessed people run into deer. Dude, a deer accident.
Oh, I have a story for you.
Dude, twice. The only time I've ever seen people hit deer, it was 2 days it was no 2 times in 1 week. Okay, I was driving to work and this deer runs by, and then this guy hits it, and then this stupid piece of shit retarded animal, it falls. Anyone knows that if you hit deer, they have strong bodies and they'll mess your car up. And
Oh yeah.
and this stupid deer, it like jumped and slammed on his windshield and cracked the shit out of it. I saw in my rearview mirror. Dude, it's messed up. I feel bad for that guy. And I got scared because here's the thing. I was rushing to get to work. I was speeding, going crazy. I was cutting people off. And then the guy in front of, well, not in front of me, but like 3 cars in front of me was doing that too. And then bam, deer fucked him up. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
And then that happened a few times. Wait, one more thing real quick. And then dude, listen, people say all the time that old people, like there's some people out there that say old people shouldn't be allowed to drive because there's a stereotype where old people go really slow while driving, which I feel like that's partially true, but I feel like that could be anyone. You know what I'm saying?
I go really slow, so.
Well, yeah, but you are an old man after all, Lenny. You're 70 years old.
Yeah, man, you caught me.
Lenny identifies as 70 years old. Okay.
I'm trans-aged.
Dude, there's another topic later that we'll talk about that kind of relates to that. But anyway, listen, here's the thing. I know I've seen more old people speed and go full Don, I want to say Don Torello, Paul Walker mode, and just go crazy on the highway and on back roads. My grandfather did 95 miles an hour on the highway with me. No, more like 100 when he was driving, and he was just like woo, and just speeding past all these hoes. And he would go 60 miles an hour in like a 25 zone and just be swerving, and dude, it was crazy. And then he would get really mad at people that would go like the speed limit and just go around them without even looking twice about it. That's how my grandpa is, and my grandma doesn't really drive anymore. She just makes my grandpa drive. But once when I was in traffic on the highway, behind me, there really wasn't much traffic. This is when I just got into, the part on the highway that has all the traffic. There was someone behind me, and then I see in my rearview mirror, this old man is just going crazy on the highway. And then, bam, slams right into the person behind me. And it wasn't like, as bad as I made it sound, but the person, it was a lot worse, I feel, than the accident I got in. And the poor woman behind me, her eyes were just huge, not knowing what just happened. So, those were the accidents I've ever witnessed. I mean, I've been in a few with my dad, sadly, when I was younger, which luckily weren't that serious. But those were the most recent ones I've witnessed. What were you going to say, Lenny?
So, when you talk about the deer, my mom, so for context, throughout my life, my mom and dad usually had matching cars. Like, we would get, let's say they got a white Kia Optima, then we would have 2 white Kia Optimas. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Same year, same model. So it'd be twin cars. And this is what happened. At the time we did. And at the time we had 2 Optimas. And what happened was my mom had one, my dad had one, obviously, and I was learning to drive. And the deal was once I got my license, I got my mom's car. I got to pick which Optima I wanted. I picked my mom's one. And but what happened was my mom was on her way to work and she hit a deer and completely, the front end of a car, like actually on your screen you can look up a Kia Optima if you need to, but how they have like that front hood area where the engine is?
Yeah.
That part was halved in size from that deer.
That is horrible.
It was literally halved in size, pretty much.
Dude, I would be so pissed. I would be so fucking angry.
Oh, the car was totaled. Literally, my mom got it home, and then we had to get it towed. And I remember when they looked at like the damage report, the engine was pretty much dented to shit, and the radiator was hanging loose. And the radiator was practically hanging on for dear life. And they looked at my mom like, "How the fuck did you get this? How the hell did you get this home?"
Dude, so
that car's gone, and I drive a Kia Optima because I got my dad's one.
yeah, yeah. You want to see
But that's not even the worst accident I've been in. When I was 1-ish, I was in the car with my mom and great grandmother, and we got T-boned.
Damn, that sounds horrible.
And I remember that was my first ever ambulance ride too.
You were
My
you all good?
Oh, I'm fine. I was like 1.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was like 1. I was fine. My mom was fine. My great grandmother was fine. And if you ask, I knew my great grandmother up until about 12. She died when I was about 12, 13, give or take.
Big R.
And yeah, she was like 96. She was old.
Damn. Yeah, that is old.
But,
Real quick. Oh, sorry, you're going. So my bad.
There was no, it's fine. Then the one wreck that did happen not so recently. I was in elementary school, but this one I learned some fun words in that one because I remember I was coming home from. I don't want to say it because you're gonna make fun of me.
Hey, buddy, were you coming back from school?
I was coming back from karate practice.
Lenny.
I was coming back from karate practice.
Lenny needs to learn how to defeat Tai Lung, being the new Kung Fu Panda.
And my mom, she was driving me because I was like 12. Yeah, about 12-ish, give or take. And some drunk lady hits us, rear ends my mom, and all I hear my mom is go, "God damn it, motherfucker!"
Yeah, I mean, dude, what you gonna, dude? When that dude hit me, I yelled the hard R, like, dude, I was mad as fuck, so I don't blame him.
The funny thing was I knew those words at the time, because never mind. This is like a whole tangent, but I was like a mockingbird as a kid.
Nice.
I remember I was like 2 years old, and my dad, the first time he ever got like actually irritated at my mom was, I was just sitting there, and I think I dropped a toy or something, and then my dad just hears me yell, "Damn it!" God damn it. And I was like 2 years old,
so
and
proud.
he looks at my mom, and my mom's like, "Oops."
Dude, so I have a story.
My mom screamed it, and then I repeated it. My dad's like, really?
Bruh, I have a story that's kind of like that, but real quick, let me show you. So this wasn't me. This what happened to my dad early last year in February, but this is probably the worst car damage I've ever seen my family get. So basically what happened was this was like a wet day, and it was a wet day, and my dad was gonna turn. And I'm pretty sure this is what happened. It was something like this. Maybe I'm slightly off, but basically he turned, I think he was turning right. He had the right of way. And then this dude was going really fast down the other side. Like, so, okay. It's like a T formation, you know, and where he was at, he was going to make a right turn and go right, obviously. So there's a red light on the left-hand side of the road, okay? And obviously, if there's a red light, then you can't turn, okay? You can't do that. Yeah. So this guy, he's trying to stop, but he can't. It's too slippery and wet, and I think it was icy as well. And this guy's car goes through the red light and hits my dad's car. And this is what the damage was. It was kind of bad. It was pretty bad. There was damage on the door, and there was damage at the very front.
Holy sh!
I was mad as fuck, dude.
I had to turn your audio down because I could hear it. I'm sorry.
So this is where the main damage was, obviously. Which, listen, there was damage to the hood a little bit. You can see it open. And then on the right-hand side, I don't have a picture on the right-hand side, but the door, you can see dent marks. And it still opened up automatically, but it was still messed up. So this is probably the worst I've ever seen, an accident happen Well, the worst damage I've ever seen in my family. Real quick, I don't know why, but your story kind of reminded me of this. It kind of reminded me of this one story. I don't know if I told this on the podcast, but I'm pretty sure I've told you the story before. But basically, when my grandparents were raising my mom and my two uncles, back then it was a lot more edgy, and they would say stuff like "damn," "fucking," like shit like that in front of them. And my uncle and my mom, they never said anything like that, especially my mom, but they would say stuff that, would be not suitable for certain conversations. So this one day, my grandparents are taking my mom, my baby nephew, well, not nephew, my baby uncle at the time, and my other uncle to
Did you say your baby uncle?
Yeah, at the time, because at the time, they were little kids. This was a long time ago, like 50, 60 years ago at this point. It was, not 60, but like 50 years ago, maybe, somewhere around then. So, they were at this Memorial's Day thing, and it was at like this, I think, it wasn't a graveyard they were at, but it was some kind of celebration, I think. But it was like a plaza type place. It was kind of low key, people would just go around, talk, and just have a good time, okay? And it was a picnic area. That's the best way to describe it. So my grandfather and my one uncle, they decided to go somewhere and look at something. And then it's my grandma with my baby uncle. He's not a baby. He was like 2 years old or something, or 3. I don't know, something like that. But he was in a stroller, okay? So he was clearly young. And then it's my mom standing next to her walking. And they're just passing by, and then this old lady comes out of nowhere and then sees my uncle in the stroller, and she's like, "Oh, look at this little boy. You must be a little nice, happy little boy. Are you having a good time? It must be fun getting either boy." But she goes around and she's like, "You must have a great time being strollered around, and you must be just having the best time ever, so that you don't have to walk around." And again, it was hot, and it was like July, okay? Really hot, and mosquitoes were out and about, and everyone's sweating, And my uncle was pissed off that day, and he did not want to be there. He probably wanted to be home watching Looney Tunes or something, because that's something he liked watching. So he wasn't about having that conversation and being like, "Hi, oh, I'm having a great time." It was basically like that one meme. Thomas dealt with enough bullshit today. Well, that was my uncle, okay? So instead of saying hi back or anything, he says, "Shut up, dummy." And he says that to her face, and remember, this is a little 3-year-old, okay? And he doesn't speak many words. Like, he doesn't say too much. And he just looks real pissed off as well saying it. And my grandmother is just like, and then my mom is just like, but laughing a little bit. But my grandmother was so embarrassed. And then the poor old lady, she's like, kind of like sounding like Richard when he's crying. And then she's like, and then she had like 2 people around her, like I guess her friends or maybe her family. And she's like, "Did you hear what that little boy just said to me?" And then my grandmother just doesn't even say sorry. She just turns the stroller around and runs away. And then she's like, "You do not say that. Why did you say that? You just embarrassed me." And was just like almost cursing my at the time little uncle out, and was just like, "Why did you say that? Where did you hear that from?" And I'm pretty sure he learned that from Looney Tunes. I'm pretty sure that's why he said it. And
at least he wasn't watching like the original Looney Tunes where freaking Daffy Duck was howling Hitler and shit.
Dude, he didn't. No, they didn't see that. But here's another quick story. My other uncle had something similar happen. So my grandfather, when he was working at the time at this, he used to work at the steel mill, and he had his boss over for dinner, and they had a nice dinner, all that stuff. And then when they were going out the door, my grandfather is just like telling my uncles and my mom to not burp. Sorry, but they're telling my uncle and my mom to say goodbye to them and be polite. And my first uncle, the shut up dummy one, was actually respectful this time and said goodbye. My mom says goodbye, but my other uncle, instead of saying goodbye, he first says, and by the way, he was like 4 years old or 5. He says, "Damn it, go on, beat it." And he just points at the door. And he just points at the door and tells him to get the hell out, basically. And my grandfather got so angry, and my grandma got so embarrassed. And my grandma's like, "He doesn't mean it. I'm sorry." And my uncle's boss, not my uncle, my grandfather's boss, though, he gets a kick out of it. He starts dying laughing. His wife wasn't as happy, but he starts dying laughing. But my grandfather got real pissed off, and he was apologizing. And then my grandma was like, where the hell did you hear that shit from? And just getting
Points
so
to
pissed.
Grandpa. Points to...
Well, listen, number one, Grandma, he probably learned it from you, because, well, I mean, I literally learned the word from you. but he either learned it, though, I think he said he learned it from Looney Tunes, but in actuality, I'm pretty sure he did learn that from my grandfather.
There's more than likely.
Yeah. And if I ever have kids, I hope that that's my case. I hope that I hope if my kids, listen, I mean, that was kind of bad, what he did, but it could have been way worse. I feel like if I have kids, then they're going to have something like that happen, except it's going to be the hard R.
My kid's first word's going to be the hard R.
Probably.
Okay, actually, this was one of the topics I wanted to bring up was, if you had a kid, what would you do? Like, what would your family do if your kid's first word was the hard R?
You say family. Are you talking about, like, my parents or my sister, brother, or who are you talking about? My wife?
Everyone.
Well, okay, first and foremost, if that happens, I'm getting blamed completely. Now, I'm gonna
rightfully so.
I'm gonna have to punish him. I'm gonna have to, probably beat his ass. Assuming the government doesn't find out and take him away. But if the government ever did that, I'd pull up. Well, I would have a gun at the door. I'm just gonna say that straight up. But if that happened, I would have to do something, but secretly, and I'd probably tell my son this, or daughter, whichever one I have first that does it. I'll be like, "I'm so proud of you. You're my prodigy." I would straight up say that, and I'd be super proud, but I know that I would get the shit beaten out of me. I know I would get the shit beaten out of me by my wife for sure. She would kick my ass. Unless, dude, I mean, here's something else I was going to bring up later. I was going to bring up, like, future wives that we would want. And, dude, I mean, I'm probably not going to get a wife that's exactly like me. But if she is exactly like me, then I'm getting laid that night. That's just what's going to happen.
Here's your award.
Takes pants off. So
in front of kid.
No! No, dude, I could never... Dude, no. Thank the Lord I've never had to walk in on my family ever. That would be the most... That's me. We already covered that in an old podcast, but yeah, no.
Did I tell the story with the broom at one point?
Yes, you did. You did.
Okay, good. Because that was a golden story.
You've also mentioned how you would just walk in willy-nilly and be like, "I need to use your bathroom."
Yep.
But, I mean... Dude,
I didn't want siblings.
Well, let me ask you this. If you were in that situation, your kid said the hard R at a family reunion or whatever, what would happen? Well, how would your family first take it? How would your wife take it and stuff like that?
If I met the right woman, she would laugh. Then, here's the thing. I actually asked my mom this shortly before we sat down to record, and she looked at me and goes, "Your dad would kill you." But I would laugh my ass off.
Well, that's not that bad then. Wait, why would your dad kill you? Your dad is... I'm sure your dad's the one that taught you it.
My dad would give me a stink eye and go like, "I was gonna learn it eventually anyway."
It was
My
going to
mom would
happen
probably do
someday,
the
so
same
why
thing.
not do it now?
My aunt and uncle from my dad's side would scream out and like actually run at me with a shotgun. My aunt from my mom's side would start dying, rolling on the floor laughing. My cousins would also start rolling on the floor laughing because they're half black.
I mean, it had to be done.
They wouldn't be mad, which is funny. They would just be disappointed.
I doubt they'll be disappointed. I bet they'll try and make it look like they're disappointed. But I'm pretty sure if they die laughing or even put up a smile, they think it's hilarious. So that's a win, okay?
You know what? Now that I think about it, they're all descendants of my grandpa from my mom's side. Oh, we would all find it funny.
Yeah.
Because my grandpa, he's the first word that my grandpa's first word is probably motherfucker. Let's be honest here.
That's one word I would also be okay with if he's just like motherfucker, almost like saying it as Asian or something like that. If I married an Asian woman and that happened, then bro, I would be
Then
so proud.
Then your kid's first words is something wrong.
Something wrong. Or what if he just said, I give him his baby food. I'm like, open wide, here's the airplane. Stupid motherfucker.
I think that's a little too long for a kid.
Well, obviously it wouldn't be that quick, but it would be. I'm hearing something. Stupid. Did you say stupid? Motherfucker. Like,
You would be like, "Hey, yo, man, what the?"
I'll be like, you fucking troll, and then throw the baby food on the floor.
You would get up, start wings trying to say, "These trolls, man, these troll things."
Go up to my wife. I can't do it. I can't take this no more.
You gave birth to a troll.
But
Actually, this is a question more towards your topic of what kind of wives. But what is your thoughts? Would you marry, like, what race if you had to pick one?
oh, dude, this is super. Oh no.
We are walking the borderline.
No, okay, let's get into it. I'm down with it. Well, dude,
That's exactly why I asked it.
listen, I'm gonna be honest with me. I don't care what race you are. I'm not racist. I say a lot of edgy stuff.
point.
I say what it, but but no. I'm seriously not racist though.
To a point.
Shut up. I'm not racist to a point. Fucking. But I had to finish it. So listen, but seriously though, I'm not racist at all. Like, I say edgy jokes a lot, and I say whatever's on my mind just because it's meant to be funny. It's not meant to be serious. Even though, all these snowflakes online and all these bitches, it's in this time, try and make everything seem like it's the end of the world. And it's like I gave them a cancer diagnosis. They make it seem that bad. But anything I say, it's obviously meant to be funny, and it's meant to be a joke, okay? Or it's meant to be just directed at somebody I don't like. Just one person, not their race, just one person, okay? But if there's a very attractive black chick that, obviously I find attractive, and, she's funny, she is not fat and ugly, and, she's takes care of herself, and I find her very beautiful. Dude, I would definitely marry her. If she was Asian, white, Filipino, I don't know, any other fucking race out there, Mexican, then I'm fine with that, okay? Because, listen...
Crush marrying a Mexican and, like, getting confused and having a mariachi band at his wedding.
I'm like, who the hell are these guys? I'm marrying Max 12.
You know, like, the bride always has, like, a veil.
Yeah.
So, like, lift the veil and it's just... Hey,
Hey, I had to be here. But anyway...
Hey, I kidnapped your wife. Hey, I replaced her. Hey, you're marrying me.
But listen...
Server money is ours.
Hey, where's that server money? But listen, though. I mean, I don't... Like, listen, I find all women of all races very attractive, normally. But obviously, if you have a bad personality, I'm not into you. You can be the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, and I won't want you if you're toxic, because I'm not a simp, you know?
Don't get Britney Spears stuck in my head here, Crush.
Why, is that your dream girl, Lenny?
No, but you said toxic, and Britney Spears toxic. That song so easily gets stuck in my head.
But listen, though, I mean... But listen, if you're fat and ugly, though, I'm definitely not going to want you, and that has nothing to do with your race. People are going to say, oh my god, he's racist, he's fat phobic. No shit, I don't want to date a fat person. Lose some weight, fatty, as they say in SpongeBob, before you get this, okay? Which, listen, I'm not going to lie, I need to lose some weight, too. I'm not perfect, but, but listen, here's the thing with fat people. If you, or not even fat people, chubby people, okay? If you're kind of chubby, but you're working on improving yourself, and I find you attractive, and if you're trying to get skinny, then I'll give you a chance. I have no problem with that, okay? But if you're like Wings of Redemption, hell no. That you can here, I will gladly refer you to Lester B, okay? He will gladly accept, okay? Now, you have to be kind of in I hope you're in the Sasquatch, okay? That's the only down part. But
Lester B's requirements, you have to be fat.
You have to have no self-esteem, you have to be on drugs, you have to be fat and stinky and smelly, and you have to have absolutely no morals and live in the hood.
You must at least not take a shower for at least 4 years.
No, or it's like those memes where, a girl says, this guy, he's into me, he has a good job, and, he's financially stable, he's perfect, he's my best friend. Something like that.
Dude,
Meanwhile, she's getting boned by broke ass Tyrone and gets like 10 kids. Except that's with Lester B. Okay.
Okay, this is just so accurate. Like, I hate being that one person. Sorry, my mom came in here and almost bonked me on the head.
Lenny, are you horny?
No.
Then why is she bonking you and sending you to horny jail?
Because she went shopping. Because she originally asked me to help her, and I was like, I have her podcast recording. She's like, fine, we'll go after. And she ended up going midway through.
Well, big ups to your mom. So.
Oh no, she's telling me to hurry up, but no. She can be patient.
Anyway, but I mean that kind of seals the deal. Oh, and also I don't. You have to be listen. Girls always say men have to be a certain height. Luckily, I'm not, I'm not like Lil Uzi Vert. I'm not like 5'2" or something like that, or John, who's like 4'9", or Lenny, who's a midget. So,
no, I am not a midget.
Lenny is.
I'm 5'8", you asshole.
Look, to be honest though, I'd rather be somewhere between 5'8" to 5'10", because I'd want a chick that's as close to my height as possible. But obviously, that's not very common. So I would probably settle for a chick that's between 5'6" to my height, okay? Or maybe a little taller. I'm not afraid to date a chick that's, taller than me. I don't care. That doesn't bother me at all, okay? But those are my requirements, which can be a little bit picky, but, I'm not a simp and I'm willing to wait. Well, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, you asked me if there's a specific race I'm looking for, which is definitely, that's definitely borderline cancellation right there. But I mean, to answer your question though, I don't listen, if you've a great personality, you're beautiful. I mean, I find so many races attractive. You can look at my porn search history to back me up. But which imagine, I'm not racist, this is why, it pulls up search history. But no, like, I don't care about race. I don't care about that. You just have to be not fat, have a good personality, and be kind of close to my height. And then, yeah, that's really all it takes. I'm going to be honest.
Let's crush with a shorter girl with them.
Well, I guess they're good for something. I'm kidding. But nah, like you can't. If you're, I mean, that's not that short.
And this is, and
for me, that'll be like 5'6".
And then this is Crush with like a taller girl.
Oh hell no, hell nah, dude, hell nah. It's gonna, dude, it'll be hard to find a chick that's that tall though compared to me, Because she would have to be like 6'8" or something. Because I'm 6'2", dude. I'm 6'2". So that would be tough.
Dude, you're gonna have to find like the Futurama Death by Snoo Snoo ladies if you want that to happen.
I mean, I'm not saying I want it to happen, but I mean, look, if a chick exists out there that's that tall, that perfect, that strong, I mean, who am I to judge, I guess?
Krush would swan dive into that right there.
Dive headfirst into that pussy. Like I'm at the swimming pool or something.
To quote the movie Up, I am a wilderness adventure scout.
Lenny, let me ask you though. I named my preferences with women, okay? Oh, and by the way, one thing I forgot to mention. This is one thing definitely.
Biological women.
Well, obviously, I don't want no tranny. Dude, if I was number one, I don't hook up. I'm not down with that because there's just too many things that could go wrong if you hook up with a chick, okay? Discovering that someone that you were making out with was a tranny, that is number one, the worst thing that could possibly go wrong, okay? For Lenny, knowing him, it's getting drunk, making out with a tranny, then not realizing they have a cock. That's for Lenny, okay? Because it's happened too many times for Lenny. Too many. Virgin. Well, your ass would say something different.
No.
But anyway. But there's a lot of things that... Wait, real quick, though. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. That's one of them. And even if it was with a chick, if she's really drunk, she could always accuse you of rape or whatever. It's just too much stuff. I'm a relationship type of guy. That's all I can say. And my last thing with a chick, though, if you want me to get you to date you, you have to be around my age. The lowest I'll accept. I mean, look... Maybe I'll make an exception here and there if you're like 3 years younger than me. Like if we really have a good vibe or whatever. That's the absolute lowest I'd go. I'm 23. That's not that bad, okay? But preferably, I would not want to go that low. The lowest I would be, more secure with is, 2 years younger than me. And ideally, I'd want a chick that's a little bit older than me. So... Right now, between the ages... Here are the ages I would go out with right now as a 23-year-old. 20, with certain exceptions, but mainly 21 all the way to like 27. That's my age group right now that I would go for. So, y'all know my preferences now. But anyway, Lenny, you go on with what you were saying.
With me, I always preferred older ones, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I was always the kind. I would not... I mean, I can't be too picky, but I prefer like a year or two older than me.
I mean, what if it was for you? What if like you met this really good chick that was Lenny? You're 19, right? Or are you 20?
Yeah.
I can't. Okay,
I'm 19.
What if it was? I mean, look, for when I was your age, I would not want to go 3 years younger than me because you're getting into some.
Questionable territory.
Yeah, but when you're older, like in your 20s, soon to be mid-20s, I think dating someone that's 3 years younger isn't that bad. But I'd prefer myself to keep it between 2 years. But for you, would you go for somebody? Would you go for someone that's 2 years younger than you if they have a great personality and you find them attractive?
At my current age, no.
Okay.
For obvious reasons, because 19 minus 2.
Well, yeah, but you have Romeo and Juliet laws where you live, so that's not illegal.
Still, I don't know why I'm always worried about shit like that. So it's like I would preferably not.
I mean,
and that's just me.
I mean, to be fair, I get that because do you know who CallMeCarson is by any chance, Lenny?
Yep, that's exactly why, actually.
So anyone that doesn't know what I'm talking about, well, let me share my screen first and explain this. Because this whole situation with this guy, I feel so bad for this dude. So this is CallMeCarson right here. I'll share my screen for you too, Lenny, just so you can see. Wait one second. Where is it?
But yeah, the CallMeCarson incident, that's why I always prefer like a year or two older.
So what happened with this guy? For anyone that doesn't know who he is, I mean, he's pretty popular, so I feel like you guys should know who he is, but basically what happened with him, he was one of the newest. There was a Minecraft wave that happened a few years ago where Minecraft really started to boom again, especially during the pandemic. And there were obviously older school Minecraft YouTubers like ASF Drone, Bayesian Canadian, Sky Does Minecraft. I don't know if Lenny, you know those people, but
yeah,
those are
Captain Sparkles.
yeah, those type of people. Ant Venom, Caveman Films, Yogscast a little bit.
Oh, I watched Young's Cast religiously as a kid.
Atlanta Craft, that was another. And yeah, so those are the old school ones, and people like CallMeCarson were the newer ones. A Dream was another. Rest in peace, Technoblade. He was also another one. He was part of that. He was one of the top people in that new wave. What happened with him is at the time, I mean, he's 23 now, but a few years ago, he got into a controversy because when he was 19 years old, he was apparently dating or had a thing with this 17-year-old girl. And listen, if you date someone 2 years younger, really at any age, I mean, you know, once you're at a good age to start dating, so somewhere around like 15, 16, something like that, you know, then I don't have a problem with that. I think that's fine, okay? I don't think most people would have a problem with that. But what ended up happening was, I guess the chick, well, number one, he got found out that this was happening. And he was basically called like a predator. And I don't even know if the girl even made allegations against him. She may have, but they weren't like rape allegations. The whole controversy with this poor guy is that he was just dating someone that was underage. But according to Romeo and Juliet laws, really anywhere, this is fine. Wouldn't you say so, Lenny? Wouldn't you say it's fine?
Yeah. I mean, it's not... Yeah, it's... To be honest, that gap isn't that bad compared to others, like EDP.
Well, EDP was a 30-year-old going for a 13-year-old, okay? That is disgusting. We can all agree on that. But but listen, 19, you're still a kid. I know when I was 19, and listen, technically even I'm not fully developed yet, and I'm 23 years old, okay? You don't get fully developed till you're, what, 25, Lenny? 26?
Some studies say later.
Before you're 30, okay? It's like mid to late 20s.
Debated.
All right, well, regardless, it's about late, on average, it's late to, you know, late 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, you know, something in that ballpark.
About, give or take, 28.
But listen, regardless, regardless, I mean, he was still a kid, though. He was a kid, and the girl was obviously a kid, too. And there's nothing wrong with doing that, okay? There's nothing wrong with doing that. I'm pretty sure 99% of people would agree. But because you have these retards on the internet who don't know the full story, they just start calling this guy a predator. He wasn't a predator. He was just going after... Well, he was just with a chick that was 2 years younger than him. That was technically 17. It's one thing if someone like EDP or Wings of Redemption, which Wings flirted with 17-year-old girls when he was like 31. That's predatory creepy. And creepy. This guy, 19, trying to get with a 17-year-old, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? So, Lenny.
Why are you saying it to me like you're explaining this?
I'm not explaining it to you. I'm explaining it to anyone watching, okay?
I know.
You know, you're logical. But the internet is full of idiots a lot of the times.
True.
But, listen, Lenny, going back to you, I get it. All right, I completely get it. But listen, at the same time, though, me and you, we're not celebrities. We're small content creators, at least right now. And, I mean, who knows what will happen in the next few years. But we're small. And I'm just asking you personally, Lenny, if there were no cameras on you, ever, like, let me ask you this. If there was a chick that was that old, you know, because you're 19, obviously, and let's say that you guys had around the same birthday. So when you were, you know, you're 19, you turn 20, she turns 18, okay? I mean, would you go for that chick, or would you still, I guess, give it a no?
I mean, that's like a very hard question for me, because it's like, it's a maybe. It's more of that. It's more of the risk versus benefit. There we go.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
fair.
English.
That's fair. I suppose it all depends on the girl then, right, Lenny?
Bingo.
All right, gotcha. Okay. But when it comes to like races or anything like that, I mean, do you have like listen, this this is obviously this could be a controversial question obviously for you, but like is there any specific chick race that, you'd be more into than I guess not?
This is where the controversy kicks in. Yes, there is.
Can you say it? I really want to hear it genuinely.
I am very open about it. Yes. You want me to start back to when I remember when like hormones first kicked up, when you first see boobs for the first time, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, obviously.
I remember I had such a I was so picky at the time. Like, you want to know, there was only one type of people I was attracted to, and that was blonde hair, blue-eyed, for some ungodly reason.
I mean, everyone has, I mean, for me, I, of course, have my moods.
And then what was funny was that happened, and then I started dating someone with brown hair and brown eyes who was Mexican. Was a fair-skinned Mexican. And, what happened... I mean, if I had to pick a race, like, are you saying a race I prefer others, or a race I don't prefer?
I'm just asking, like, if you have, I guess, a similar view as me, for example, because I'm more about personality. I mean, obviously, I don't want you to be fat and ugly, like I keep saying.
Yeah, I'm more like that too.
Be, have a bad, like, have a bad mental state or be crazy and belong in, like, an asylum. But
yeah,
I'm basically
more like
asking when it comes to looks first and foremost, because you just confirmed, you need a girl that would have a good mental state. Yeah.
You have to be decent. Like, it's like I understand. It's like if you have a scar on your face, I'm not gonna judge too much on that. You get what I mean?
Well, when it comes to like scarring, I don't judge you for scars or anything like that. I judge you mainly if you're fat or ugly, okay? Which I don't call fat. You. I don't call you, dude. Period. I mean, listen. I'm being honest. So I can't, dude. I don't find fat people attractive at all. If you're a little chubby and you're working on yourself, I will definitely give you a chance. I'm just saying that right here. It's because listen, I'm not, Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger right now. Okay.
You're Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's not what I said, but...
That's what I said.
That's what you said. But, I'm not Mr. Bodybuilder, okay? I'm not fat, but, like, I'm a little chubby right now. I'm not in the best shape of my life. I will admit that, and I have work to do myself. But, with that being said, there's still chicks out there that are very fat and don't take care of themselves, that have different colored hair, that just act super entitled. That is one of them. Probably one of Lester's ex-girlfriends too,
and ex-wife.
Yeah. Well, Lester's future wife is Chun-Li, and well, that's some terrain I don't think we should get into.
No.
But and when it comes to hair color, that's something I forgot to mention for me. I'd prefer if you don't have different colored hair. But if you, like, get dyed here and there and it looks really cute and I still find you attractive, like Alyssa Violet, she's one example. When she had a slightly purpled hair, I still find her very attractive. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not like
highlights.
I'm not a simp like John with Valkyrie or like Lenny with Lester B.
No.
But I can still admire chicks if they're pretty, obviously. That's very fair.
I'm kind of... This is just my preference, though. Do you prefer makeup or no makeup?
Listen. Well, okay. First of all, give a scenario. Like, where would it be? Would it be just, I guess, anytime, anywhere, or do you have like a specific?
Let's say date night.
I mean, if you're trying to cover up like a pimple or something, I don't care, okay? I don't care if you do any of that. Now, if you end up looking like a Kardashian, That's another thing. If you don't look, I want you to look human, okay? If you have, freckles, I don't care because I have freckles too. A
You
little
have
bit on my
freckles?
face. They're like really light, okay? Really light freckles. So
Oh, okay.
I don't really care, to be honest, if you use makeup or not. But do I want you wearing makeup all the time? No, especially if we're in bed. I don't want that, okay? Because I don't want it
Wake up, you
melting.
have a second face on your pillow.
Yeah, dude, I don't want to have a face mask waking up, okay? I don't. The pandemic's over. Take it off.
The pillow has a face in the morning.
Oh my lord, it looks like a snowman face. No.
But it's but yeah, I get what you mean. Like with me, this is a very unpopular opinion. I don't like makeup.
Yeah, I mean, I
There's
don't.
very like I there's very few cases in which I'm like, oh yeah, that looks cool. You get what I mean? Like if you're doing it for, let's say, a cosplay, I'm fine with that because obviously you need it. You know what I mean?
Well, are you talking about like. What kind of makeup are you talking about? Are you talking about like with eye lighting, eyeshadow, and stuff like that? Or are you talking about like.
Full face, foundation, everything.
I mean, I don't really care as long as, you don't look like a Kardashian, okay? And you still look like a real human, okay? Now
This
listen,
is
I don't use makeup
Look,
myself. I think that I think I would probably look pretty much the same with makeup, okay? I have a pretty good face, I feel, and I don't really get pimples or nothing like that. So I'm happy in that department myself. But
I was
don't
gonna say something, but I'm not going to.
what were you going to say, you bastard?
I was gonna say, let's ask Jobby.
What?
You know what I'm talking about. Ask Jobby.
What when he's
The
with Lester?
cursed image. Cursed image.
Oh, I hate you so much. I hate you so much. I hate you so much for bringing that up. You bastard.
You forget that I was sent it. You forget
Let me tell you all this, okay?
by our host
When you-
Johnny.
Let me tell you this, guys. Anyone watching, if you're drunk, don't be on Discord. Because
Nope.
if you do that,
Or
you will
Snapchat.
make very bad decisions.
Yeah, that's
Which is
happened to
what
both of
your
us
boy
before.
made.
That's
I got caught. But anyway.
Oh. Actually, if you're drunk, if you're drunk, get on Discord. It's funny.
Yeah, you'll be laughed at. It's a great time. Trust
Oh
me.
yeah, it's a fun time.
Trust me, I know from experience. But anyway, though.
Don't worry, I do too.
But anyway, though, I mean, me personally, I just don't care. But Lenny, so you're saying you just don't. I mean, listen, if it was, I guess, just to cover up pimples, would you be fine with that and stuff like that?
I'm gonna say this. I don't prefer it. Will I like actively not date you for it? No. Just it won't be my preference.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if they're doing it like, oh, I want to make myself look good or something, it's just like, or it's just like, oh, because we're out in public, I want to cover up a little bit. It's like, I'm fine with that. But it's like, you don't have to do that for me.
Let me tell you this as well, okay? Any dudes watching. If you, like, I've never lived with a chick, okay? I've never gotten that far. But if you live with a chick, you're going to see her without makeup, and girls look different without makeup, okay? So,
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
yeah, okay? So, I would prefer, them not to have makeup, because I want to know what they look like without it. I don't want to be misled, okay?
I have a kind of screwed up story.
You don't need to say if you don't want to.
No, I'm fine with it. One of my exes in high school, it's like you look at her Instagram and stuff, she looks like really amazing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know that's just let me pull my ego a little bit here. But
Nothing wrong with saying that.
yeah, she looked straight up like a model. But without makeup on, she was in an accident when she was younger, so she has scars all over her face. And I remember when I was dating her, she would always like cover them up. And when I first saw them, I was like, no, you don't have to cover them up. And she was actually really happy with that because that was one thing she was happy about was I didn't care that she had scars because she was extremely self-conscious on them because they weren't like small scars either. They were very clear.
So, okay,
Because
listen.
when she was in middle school, she was full on hit by a car at full speed.
Yeah, that's sad, man. But I mean, look, if it's something like that, and you were like, listen, I'm not. Obviously, there's a lot of issues that can go wrong with like Tinder dating and stuff like that. I think pretty
Oh,
much everyone can agree.
Val. Val, sorry, I had something stuck in my throat there.
Oh, come on, why you gotta bring that up?
No,
I mean, to
Val,
be fair, she said stuff about that on the Discord, so it's kind of public.
it's kind of public. She gets literally, I've told her multiple times. It's just like she complains about getting stood up. I'm like, have you ever thought about where you find these dudes from?
Yeah, no. If you use Tinder or Bumble or anything like that,
You're not looking for relationships. You're looking for hookups.
Well, listen, there's good dudes and good girls on there. Don't get it twisted. But like the amount that's on there, it's probably
Diamond in the rough.
It's probably more like 25 to 50%. Okay, it's not. It's not. It's not top tier.
I would argue 10 to 15. Honestly.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't use it, so I don't know. Okay, she would know more than me. But here's the thing: when it comes to makeup with like dating profiles or whatever, I mean, listen, in that case, I understand wearing makeup, but you need to be honest though, very quickly. If you talk to someone, you need to tell them on like the first date or second date that you have these scars, and listen, if you don't like how I look, or if you don't feel comfortable being with me, that's fine. Which listen,
or if you
the reason I say that is because listen, the reason I say that, if you have like nasty scarring on your face on a profile, people are bad, dude, and they won't swipe on you if you have that, okay? But if someone gives you a chance, gets to see how wonderful you are if you're a good person, then they won't care about the scarring, okay? But first impressions are a real thing. I think we can all agree on that.
Oh,
and people may say, it's misleading, which it kind of is, but in this case, it's kind of understandable, and I have sympathy in this case.
Yeah. And I know, I'm trying to think here, but it's like, or on dating profiles, you see those where it's like a group of girls or something.
Oh no, those are the worst. No, that you have no excuse for that. That is no. That is the worst kind of situation you could get into. Now listen, if they're all hot, then that's a win-win.
Turns out it's like the one ugly bimbo in the back that you can't see, that's like photo bombing in the background.
It's like playing Deal or No Deal. You just open a random briefcase and just see what's inside it. I really hope this is the chick, and then you have fingers crossed.
One of my IRL friends actually used Tinder, and he found someone I went to high school with on there, and it was hilarious.
Dude.
Because he sent me a picture of the profile, and here's the thing, this girl was hot too, yet she used a picture with her and one of her best friends, and I was like, even I was sitting there like, wow, you didn't even need to do that, honestly.
Listen, sometimes that happens, but that's like a drop in the bucket, because you can bet your sweet bippy that you can bet your sweet bippy that if it's a group photo, it's definitely the ugly girl that's the one looking for somebody, okay?
Oh, yeah.
That's misleading. That's 100% misleading. That if you, any dude out there or girl out there that, because dudes I'm sure do it too, never swipe right on those people. Never do that.
Always swipe left. I agree on that.
Yeah. But if it's a bunch of hot chicks, and even if it's a bunch of hot chicks, especially if it's a dating profile, I would still swipe left, because that's probably a catfish.
Yeah, or if it's a clearly, filtered picture.
Oh my lord, those suck too. Dude, with technology evolving, it's only a matter of time before you possibly could get mixed in with a tranny. That's another big fear.
Or an AI.
Yeah, for real. Dude, AIs, though, if you encounter them...
I actually just recently got my Snapchat AI for some reason. It just gave it to me.
Last week. And I just started trolling it. I started calling it the hard R, and then it's like, I can't do it. I can't take this no more. And then it's like, I'm not going to talk to you for a few minutes. That's how it goes.
Mine started up yesterday, and it didn't even message me. It just popped up in my friends list. I was like, oh, hey, look at that. Didn't message it yet, though.
But
I don't think I will though, because that's kind of that's kind of sad.
dude, I'm not gonna lie. I like messing with the AI, but it's kind of sad how much time I did put into messing with it. I put like 10 minutes into just messaging it and messing with it, which is kind of sad. I'm not gonna lie. But
It's like I don't like talking to AI because it just makes you feel lonely. You get what I mean?
yeah, it does. Real quick though, real quick, there is one more thing I want to mention. Which, listen, I'm gonna make my friend. My friend technically owes me this, so I'm not gonna say his real name. I'm not gonna give any revealing information because this person's never been on my channel, and he'll never be found out. Okay, but let me tell you guys one more, dangerous thing about social media as well, especially dating. The people on there, even if they're, like catfishing is very bad. And sometimes on social media, you even get people that aren't even catfishing you, but they're just trying to scam you. So I have this one friend. I'm not going to say anything about him because I don't want to reveal him. But I'm guessing he's kind of a lonely guy. And, he was looking for a girl or something. Because, what else are you going to use Tinder for? Hey, you want to go, I don't know, you want to go grocery shopping together and then never talk again? Or, I don't know, hey, you want to Uber, you want to give me some Taco Bell, Uber Eats, something like that.
Netflix and pill.
Or something like that. But, obviously that's what it's used for. So he was talking with this girl, and this girl, here's one thing that people will do is, especially with AI, they can make it convincing that, you're talking to an actual girl, not catfish. But what happened to him was that he was talking with this girl, and he even showed me her Instagram. And I mean, dude, I'm not gonna lie, for me, I feel like I have a little more common sense than him, especially given the story and how it transfolds. But this person, just looking at her Instagram, I probably already wouldn't trust her because she kind of looked like someone else from some other Instagram account. But he was talking with her, and he told me that she sent him a bunch of pictures to verify it was her or whatever. Which, listen, if you need verification, here's one thing you should do, okay? Here's what I would do. I would have the person send a picture of their entire face, okay, with a finger held up, a finger of your choice. So maybe your middle finger and then the finger on your right side, okay, between your pinky and between your middle finger. That's what I would do to make sure they're legit, okay? That's one way.
Yeah.
Maybe ask for another one as well that's different. But you can't be too safe, okay? Especially in this day and age. So I don't know if he actually did that, but he told me that she sent multiple pictures of her to him with her in it. And listen, people do that. Can be legit, but they could also be somebody just downloading pictures off of someone else's Instagram and then sending them to you, okay? It's that easy.
Yeah.
So what he ended up doing is, I feel so bad because this guy is not a dumb dude. He's a pretty smart person, and he works hard in life, okay? But he made one of the stupidest decisions I think I've ever heard with dating, okay? He pulled a Lester B because Lester has legit done this before as well. And how he has not gotten... No, he's... My coworker asking that is one thing, but actually sending a video of them stroking it to somebody is a totally different thing.
Wait, hold on a second. Wait.
My friend sent that video to that girl because she asked for it, number one, which, listen, if you just because you ask for something doesn't mean you're selling, okay? You could say, this ain't for sale. You have to work for it, okay? That's what chicks say all the time to dudes. You want this butt? You gotta work for it. So something like that, something like that. But anyway, though, so I'm guessing she asked. I'm pretty sure she asked him to send it, and he ended up sending it because he thought she was legit. Which, listen, any dudes out there, never ever send that, okay? Don't ask girls for those photos either because they can use that against you. Just keep it. There's plenty of ways
Professional. Keep it
You
professional.
can keep it professional. No, not just professional, where you can have fun and, not get caught up in that, okay? It's not like you're talking about it's not like you're my coworker, okay? You're saying, "Hey, so how the Ravens doing?" "Oh, they're pretty good." "So where do you live now?" "I live here." And you're like, "That's
Hey,
good."
bro,
And then she's like, "Yeah, that's great." And then out of nowhere, you send a dick pic. it's you don't do that, okay? Or in my coworker's case, "Hey,
true story.
Hey, I need to ask you something. Do you shave?" Which is what my coworker did do to his ex-girlfriend that broke his heart 10 years ago. 2 years ago. So, no, it's just a scenario I'm making up, Lenny. But there's been plenty of dudes that have done that before. And you just don't do that, okay? If you want to know what they look like without clothes on, then make sure you see it in person, okay? It's going to be so much better. You'll get something out of it, and they can't use anything against you if something were to go down later on.
They can.
Well, yeah, but it's not as nearly as incriminating, okay?
Yeah.
If they're telling lies, okay? Now, my friend sent that out, okay? He sent that video out, and what ended up happening was she turned out to be a scammer. She downloaded the video, and she told him, which, listen, luckily she didn't have that much info on him, okay? But she threatened to send that video out to all of his friends and family on his Facebook account if he didn't pay her $700, which is very messed up. But sadly, this is the world we live in, okay? And this is actually a very real occurrence. So he told me this. And listen, one thing with this guy is I've known him since my freshman year in high school, and I consider him a kind of a close friend. We haven't really been talking that much over the years, but he randomly DMs me out of nowhere because we started talking again like 3 months ago or whatever. But he DM'd me, and he told me what happened. And first and foremost, me being friends with him, I called him an idiot and told him he's stupid for doing that. And I basically told him I expected something out of Dylan doing that, not you. And listen, if you're good friends with somebody, you say that. You don't tell them, "Oh, crap, dude." I mean, you can say that too, but you have to scold them. That's how it works. Wouldn't you say so, Lenny?
Oh, 100%.
You have to listen, they will never forget that, but you need to make sure they won't ever forget that, okay? I'd want someone to do that with me too, okay? Because you deserve it.
Yeah, and I think, no, there hasn't been a situation where you've done something that dumb, but I have called you an idiot in the past, and you've done the same for me.
I think everyone has done something stupid involving chicks,
That's an understatement.
but I've never sent a cock pic. Lenny, I don't think you have either. I probably never will, because again, I don't. Because listen,
send cat pics.
Yeah, I'll be like, I'll send if she ever says send dick pics. I'm gonna send a picture of a rooster. That's what I'm gonna do.
You smartass.
But anyway though, but yeah, so. I was going to talk about something else, but I forgot what I was going to say. But what ended up happening, though, with that whole situation was luckily she really did not have much info on him. She only had his Facebook and his Tinder, or I don't know what he used. But she only had something like that. Very limited social media. So
what? Something like a burp?
I burped. Yes, I did burp.
I know.
But luckily, she had very limited. She didn't know his Snap. She didn't know his Instagram or anything like that. She only had his Facebook. So at first, I was trying to find out who this person was because I'm kind of good at. I'm decent at finding people, even if they're behind an account. Okay, but this person, it was pretty obvious that they had a burner Instagram account. They had a different name. And I tried to reverse image search the person, but couldn't find them, even on there. So the person was, they actually kind of did a good job hiding themselves, okay? Like, you'd have to be somebody on the next level to find them, okay? I mean, there's ways I could try and find pieces of their information, with Instagram. If you try and log in with their user ID, which I didn't do this, but I know you can do this, then it will say an email has been sent to this email, okay? It will list part of their email, but it won't list all of it. But you can at least get that, or you can see part of their phone number. You know what I'm trying to say, Lenny?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But that would be going the unethical route, and I wasn't trying to do that. And I was also at work as well. So what I ended up telling him was, I just told him, listen, I can't find this person. I don't have time to really look and take a deep dive into it. So here's what I'm going to recommend. Deactivate your Facebook temporarily. Like, do it for a week or so. Let the situation die down, and then you'll be fine. Which is what he did. Like, at least he listened to my advice, okay? If it was Lester and he was in this situation, you want to know what he would do?
Send the video, man.
He would start acknowledging it on his Facebook, and he would probably post it on his Facebook. He'd be like, hey, man, it's going to be sent out anyway. Let me address this. And then everyone would start seeing it and sharing it, and then he would be the next DSP. That's what would happen. So, at least my friend listened to me, and he's good now. I mean, he's got to wait a little longer. I told him wait like a month, and then it will die down completely. But yeah, no, social media can be very, very dangerous, and I mean, that's one example.
The internet is not a safe place.
Like, I mean, even if you take a picture, like a selfie with a friend or whatever, or any picture where you're at, or look, you know, have your Snap Map on, or, you know, reveal anything, people can find you. Like, with rappers especially, there was this guy named PNB Rock. Rest in peace to this dude. His girlfriend posted a picture or a video on her Instagram, and the location was on there. And what ends up happening is people that didn't like PNB, like, I guess, I don't know if he was in a gang, but some gang members that were following his Instagram and his girlfriend, they saw that tag, and they ended up pulling up and killing him at a freaking IHOP. It was messed up, you know? It was bad. And people blamed his girlfriend, which she was in the wrong for that. And then there'd be other people as well, because this is what happened with Pop Smoke. He took a picture, and this one's way more obvious. He took a picture of, like, this Louis Vuitton gift he got, and it had his Airbnb street address on there. And even as something small as, you know, just taking a selfie in the street, people will zoom in on those pictures, and they'll find the street address. That's how bad it is. So you can never be too safe on social media. You know what I'm saying? I guess we'll wrap it up here, y'all. This is still probably going to be a pretty long episode. Probably about 1 hour, 50 minutes, 2 hours, something like that. I'm probably going to cut some of it out. But yeah, hopefully everyone enjoyed. If y'all did, make sure you either subscribe, don't, or get the fuck out. And yeah, hopefully everyone enjoyed today's episode. I did. And I did as well. Even though we didn't get to like half of the topics that I have pulled up on here, which
is normal.
Yeah, it's pretty normal at this point. Yeah, we'll get into more next week, because I mean, a lot of this stuff it has to do with video game shit like that, and John would definitely want to be a part of. So anyway,
yeah, agreed.
Anyway, hope everyone make sure y'all tell John to feel better. I almost said wish him to get better, like making it sound like it's his birthday.
Wish John a happy illness.
Wish John a happy illness. Tell him you hope his syphilis goes away.
No, I was about to pull a Richard go, hope his whole family does.
That's so appropriate, given how we were talking about car crashes earlier in the episode, Lenny, so congrats on that.
Yeah, but he'll get better.
John's probably just feeling down, man. But he has downs. Anyway, but we'll see y'all next week. Peace out.
See you guys.